So I want to talk about the process of home ownership. Now, my road to home ownership and becoming a homeowner, not only a homeowner, a landlord, owning my first real estate property, has not been an easy one. And I say that because this journey really started out in 2015. I wanted to jump into real estate. I went to a seminar. I got very inspired. I went to one of the free webinars and I did all the things. I picked up the books and I did my home buyer process in 2016. Well, things did not go well. I was in a relationship at that time, and me and my partner at that time, we were going through the home buyer process. We took the classes, we got the certificate, and the relationship ended up falling apart. Well, I was at a stage in my life at that time that I didn't have the credit. I believe at that time I had a credit score of 415. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I only had a part-time job, striving to get a full-time job. I had just recently moved to Minnesota from Florida because I gave up on Minnesota. I didn't think there was opportunities here for me, and I said, well, I'm going to go elsewhere. Well, things didn't work out for me in Florida. So I came back to Minnesota, started, this relationship, trying to get into real estate. I was more passionate behind going into real estate than she was, and it showed. The relationship fell apart. I had to start over. And in 2016, I had to begin the process of filing bankruptcy. So at 23 years old, I realized that I couldn't get into real estate because I had too much debt. So I filed bankruptcy. My bankruptcy got cleared in 2017 in June. And then in that June, I realized that I cleared all my debts and boom, another debt came on through my business. So I was like, all right, what the hell? I just cleared all my debts. How am I continuing to get forward, but also make a few steps back? And this is where the law of attraction works. Once you're getting through that paradigm shift of going and excelling and scaling your life, sometimes the gravitational pull of the devil will pull you back, or just the negative thinking will pull you back a couple steps. So I filed bankruptcy, cleared my debt. I had to take a credit building class because at that point I still couldn't get a home mortgage. I had to wait 2 years till I was actually in a position to, again, get into a home. So from 2017 to 2019, I built my credit. I had a credit score of 415, and I grew it to over 695. And I will tell this to anyone. Once I got my credit score to the point where it was, plausible to actually get a home mortgage and get pre-approved, it still was not an easy journey. I started this journey in April 2019, and I was still scared because I had to come up with earnest money. I had to come up with all this money that, again, I was not having. Living paycheck to paycheck, working my job, pushing this dream, and it all worked out. Well, it worked out from the grace of God, but it also worked out with having a great team. Shout out to Closing with Connor. I highly recommend them. Shout out to my buddy Dan. I can't say his last name. Dan A at Remax. Sorry, Dan. I say this because this is not an easy journey for anyone. But I highly recommend that anyone can get to the steps that they want and get to, only if they're willing to persevere. If I can get into a home, if I can get pre-approved, anyone can. I promise you, I do not look pretty on paper. I do not make the most money in the world. I get paid $14.25 for my normal job, people. But I budgeted. I quit negative spending. I stopped doing things that weren't benefiting me to get me to a position where I can now benefit not only myself, but others in my life. I highly recommend people, if you want to do something, you will have to actually realize that you can do it if only you are willing to discipline yourself enough to actually get to that step. For the past 48 days, I have not done anything that has hindered my spending. For the last 4 months, I've been budgeting, eating ramen noodles, eating rice, eating things that just bloat my stomach so I can feel full, even though I'm starving. I highly recommend it. Again, guys, this is my car right now. My car is packed. I have all my belongings in my car. My trunk's packed. My car is packed. I got my JJ's fishing hooks right here next to me. I'm telling you, people, the sacrifices that I've had to make have paid off. I promise you. I've added stress into my relationship. It has been a up and down battle, but I promise you the heaven that I was looking to seek is now the reality that I now live. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Once you're able to do that in your life, you'll see so many other things and you'll be benefiting from those as well. Tomorrow I sign my closing papers, and for the next 30 years I will be living rent-free because I chose to get a multi-family home, a real estate property, a real estate investing life that will benefit not only me but for generations to come. I highly recommend it, people. Take a leap of faith. You never know how graceful the land will be. Thank you guys for watching.